How y'all doing? Don back here again, and today I'm gonna do something a little simple. I'm just gonna show you some of the tools that I use to add some more convenient features in things like Vim and a few other editors, specifically for Go. So now with Vim, we'll start with that one because as you've seen with any of my videos, that's what I use almost all the time. There's basically only really one plugin that you need specifically. That is, if we go down, if we go over here and we go down to some bundles, yeah. So this is basically the main thing. It's Fatih, I think that's how you say the dude's name. Vim-go is the plugin you're looking. What Vim-go basically does is integrates a lot of these other command line utilities that already exist that provide more like some more pleasant developer experiences whenever you're using certain editors. And that's basically what Vim-go does. It integrates these into Vim. And you'll see that in my Vim config, whenever you install this plugin, it runs this command called go install binaries, which does exactly what it says it does. It checks to see if you have all those binaries you need that the plugin uses and installs them. So if I run this right now, it shouldn't do anything because they're already there. You can also update them too, but yeah, I'm not worried about that. Now, when you install this, what does it get you? So if we go down here, there's a whole section here specifically for Go. I gotta find it. Go down. It's like near the bottom. Oops, I went the wrong way. Go this way. Go over. There it is. So there's a bunch of configurations for it. I don't actually even really use a lot of these. These just kind of say like turn on like syntax highlighting and stuff. I didn't actually make this config. A large chunk of this was like a generated config that I got from this little tool called Vim Bootstrap, and I just tweaked it a little bit. The main thing you're going to want to look at probably is this section here that only runs when you are working on a Go file. And these add some convenient key mappings to common things you might want to do. So for example here, it maps leader DD to find the where that particular type that you're interacting with, where it's defined at. And there's one to open the documentation. Another documentation, there's a shortcut here for running file, running tests, running test coverage, running a meta linter, just all kinds of stuff. You'd have to go read the documentation about the plugin. But you've already seen this in action while I've been doing videos before, where it's kind of like automatically importing stuff and adjusting everything. Now, the way it's doing that is there's a kind of a general plugin that a lot of people use called Ale. And what Ale does is whenever you can have it set so that when you do certain things like write a buffer out to a file, that it will, depending on what type of file you're using, run some tooling on it to kind of do some like, error checking, linting, styling automatically. And you'll see that here it's set that whenever we write, whenever Ale runs on a Go file, it's going to run GoLand and GoVet. That's why sometimes when you see me doing code, you'll see like some of the syntax will change colors. And GoLint, I believe, is the one that will format as well. Or maybe that's where I changed it. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, just I don't really need to show this off because again, if you've seen my videos, you've already seen how this works. So the other two I'm going to go over, but not nowhere near as in depth because I don't really use them, but I just know what tools exist for them. Is we're going to look at the Visual Studio Code extension that gives you basically the same functionality, and also for Atom. Someone still uses Atom. So let me go over here. So this is VSCode. Specifically, this is a different version of it called VSCodium, which is basically VS Code with all of Microsoft's data scraping bullshit ripped out of it. And if we go to my extensions, this is what you're going to want. This is called Go. And if you read through it, you'll see that it's not that much different from the Vim plugin, because it's essentially what it's doing is it's taking a bunch of these individual binaries and integrating them into VS Code. Now, VS Code is slightly different on one thing, however, which is since VS Code supports out of the box language servers, there is a specific case here where instead of using all these individual binaries, you can use this official Go language server to do all of the linting, linting, vetting, syntax highlighting, and blah 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 blah. And it'll recommend that you switch to this if you're working in a project that's actually using Go modules. So if I go to, I want to open a recent one, go to my restream one, and it's going to load this, and you notice it's immediately going to say, hey, this is a Go modules project. It will probably be better if you switch this to using the language server instead of all the individual things. And you could either do it, not do it. I'll just go ahead and say, go ahead and do it. I don't know how long. I think it's got installed. Yeah, got installed the language server if it wasn't already installed. I don't know how long that's going to take. But once that's done, it will. Okay, you're ready to go. Ooh, makes the puns like me. Okay. So at that point, you should be fine, and you'll notice that we're already getting some highlighting here. Yeah, these are yellow. These are just warnings, and these are all basically warnings saying, hey, you have a exported type or variable that you didn't comment. Yeah, that's there's a lot of those on here, but most of the other stuff here is fine. I don't think it auto formats it. Like I said, I don't really use VS Code that much anymore, so I'm not aware of the full functionality of what this does. You'll have to read the documentation about it. I know it says, linter, and there's a bunch of commands that it gives you that you can use when this is up. But yeah, it's go, and then there's a couple things here, I think. Yeah, there's a bunch of commands it adds to your command palette here. Add import. I think it has a couple of utilities to like automatically set a bunch of common things that you would normally have to do repetitively. Like it says like automatically generate the tags for structs, which is pretty nice. I actually haven't used that. I need to try that. I think that might actually be in the Vim plugin too. I just never actually tried it before. There was a couple other interesting ones I saw this before. Fill struct, extract out to a variable, generate interface stubs, generate unit tests for file, function, package. There's a bunch of little convenient, almost more IDE-ish features baked into an extension. So again, I'm not going to go over much with this. And if we go over to Atom, I have the same thing open, and the package from me sniffing around that you're going to want is, I think I have it here somewhere. Does it say installed packages? Where does it say package? Installed packages. We want Go Plus. This is what you want, Go Plus. If you look at this, again, it should appear to be fairly similar in functionality to what the other two things I just showed you were in terms of the VS Code extension and the Vim plugin. Again, just takes a bunch of Go binaries, integrates them into Atom. I've literally never used Atom before, so in terms of how to make proper use of them, I'm not super sure. Yeah, you can tinker around with this. If you use Atom, you can tinker around with this and tell me if this is actually helpful or not. I had no fucking clue. It's just whenever I poked around, this was the package everybody was saying you should probably use. So just figured I would tell you all that myself. Now let me close this. Let me open up another browser fast. I want to show y'all something. You go over here. So if you want a more like an actual full-fledged IDE, there actually is one that you can use. If you're familiar with IDEs, surely you're probably familiar with JetBrains. So let's go to JetBrains. JetBrains actually has a Go IDE that you can look at. It is tools. It should be called GoLand. Yep, here it is. This is if you're a big fan of JetBrains ecosystem and their IDEs. This is your go-to right here. I've played with this before. It is very convenient. It's just the only reason I don't tend to use these is one, I don't have a lot of money to pay for it, and two, as being a full featured IDE is kind of heavy on the resource use, which my laptop would scream if I tried to run this on it. So no thanks. Now I believe if you want to still stay in the whole JetBrains ecosystem, but you don't want to don't want to or can't pay for GoLand. I think if you're using the free one, which is IntelliJ, I think there's an IntelliJ plugin to add Go functionality into IntelliJ. You'll have to check that yourself, but I'm almost positive I read that somewhere before. Okay, so that's all I got for y'all today. Yeah, this is useful at all. Be sure to like, subscribe for more tutorial stuff. Be sure to check out the link down below to join the Discord server so we can chat and bullshit. And with that, y'all come on back now, and I'll see you next time.